For the last time, I will call this regular council meeting for May 19th, 2026 to order. I'll ask the clerk to please record the attendance, and I'll ask for a motion to approve the agenda, please. Councillor Doyle.
I move that we approve the agenda with the following amendment, that we remove item 9A, 1 through 6, until the first meeting of the new council.
Okay, so I'll look for a seconder on that motion. Councillor Richard. And on the question, being a motion on an agenda, we will entertain discussion. So Councillor Doyle, if you'd like to go first.
Hi, I just, having been here for 30 years, it's very unusual that we would have a meeting 8 days after a council election and just 6 days before a new council comes in. Nothing here is urgent or an emergency. And as in the past, it usually wasn't a meeting after the end of April. So today, just to be sure, I mean, we've been taking a lot of cues from the city of Bathurst this last while. And I called Todd Pettigrew's office today and they said they haven't had a meeting since the week before the election, nor do they intend to until after June 1st when their swearing in is. So it will be the first week of June. So I understand there was a memo out that what we're doing isn't illegal, but it's certainly, the optics is not good on this, that we would have one just after an election. And we have probably 7 or 8 council members here tonight, and we have a very good council coming in. So let's give them a good head start.
Thank you, Councillor Doyle. I'll speak to the motion as well, and I'll be speaking to the contrary. From my perspective, giving the new council a good head start would be finishing some of the ongoing business that we've been doing for years, particularly the amendments to the flag policy and the travel policy, which are effectively cleanup, and finishing off our work on rec user fees, which has been 2.5 years in the making. And our staff have strongly asked us to finish that business this evening so that it does not put into work the operational transition to the multiplex and does not need to go back through what already has been a very good process of consulting the community, engaging experts, and there is, quite frankly, no argument legally or morally that we do not finish some of these items of business. I can understand while some members of council would have different perspectives on some of the monetary items, like for example, there's no secret that there are differing views at the table around the future of the Chatham Library and issuing that RFP this evening. But I would encourage members of council to continue with the agenda and then vote to table individual items if that's your will. But there is no reason to table some of these items this evening. And, you know, I think it's also in the best interest of the future council that we finish some of this work, and we owe it to them, in fact, in the community to finish the job. And, you know, not burden them with having to go back and redo work when there's going to be plenty for them to do in their own right. So again, I'll be voting against this motion and would be voting in favor of a potential next motion to continue with the agenda as it is laid out, which would still allow to table some items if members of council would prefer.
Just a question, Your Worship, if I may, just like Councillor Doyle mentioned, what's the policy on this, Mr. Manager? I know you sent something out, but I didn't get the darn thing.
Through the chair to Councillor King. So there's no policy per se. I think what you're asking is really around the legality of it. So within the Local Governance Act of New Brunswick, there is restrictions placed on an outgoing council, which are very specific, but it is clear that sort of day-to-day operational issues can carry on. And as with respect to awarding of contracts, provided that those items are budgeted within the estimates for the fiscal year, they are permitted to continue. However, as the mayor has indicated, if there wasn't a level of comfort in proceeding, there is an option to table those motions.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Seeing no other lights, then I will call the vote on Councillor Doyle's motion to adopt the agenda as proposed amended. All those in favor? Opposed? Nay. Motion carries with 2 nays. Yeah, Councillor DePlacy was the second nay, yeah.